Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. You know what, I had said I was going to watch this show, because I always watch Iyanla Van Zandt. I watch her, and I love the show. But I never review it because I just never had, I don't know, I just never really wanted to review it. So here we are. This is season 5, and then it's her premiere episode, but it's actually 3 of them. So we're actually on the second of 3 weeks. And I just finished watching and kind of irritated with it. Anyway, one of my good Judy's, Smoke Break 314, if you don't know who she is, look her up on YouTube and check out her channel. But she was periscoping, so I went on her periscope, and she was actually talking about the Iyanla episode. And while on there, I decided, wow, I did have a lot of things that I really wanted to say about the episode. Okay, so let me start off by saying, I already told you, I like Iyanla, love her to death. Have no problem with her. A lot of people have been fussing about this whole thing, because the whole episode is literally about 2 gay pastors that are actually coming out to their families and coming out to their congregations and all of that. Of course, you know, I was like trying to stay away from it because the whole little church thing. Don't get me started with that shit. But you know what? We're out there. So I'm going to give what my feelings are about this. It's ridiculous. And I think that people were all upset with Iyanla, and I kept hearing people saying about she was exploiting them, this, that, thing, and the other. Listen. Stop it. Iyanla has a job to do. She's on the OWN network. The OWN network's not going to stay on just to be on. There's a job to be done. She ain't exploiting no goddamn baddie. Them punks put themselves up on this damn show. They put themselves on the show. And the thing is, I'm going to tell you how I see it. I think it's all a gimmick, personally, because here we go. Now, you want to bring yourself, you want to come out. We already know what's going to happen. These are black churches. They're not going to accept you. You're going to come out there, going to be pissed with you. So, I thought about it, and I said, why are they doing this? Because even just to get on TV, it ain't going to be a good thing, because church is what? Business. So churches do everything they can to promote people to come to that church as well, just like it's a business. I don't see churches and the pastor they ain't no different than me telling you to come to my YouTube channel or coming over on Instagram. You want somebody to follow you for whatever reason you want them to follow you. That's part of their business. They need to pull in, they're, promoting, the gospel and saving souls, while at the same time stuffing your purse. It's business, okay? So it ain't personal, it's business. And this is how I'm actually viewing the reason that these two felt the need to cleanse their souls and go. When we start watching the show, did you notice neither church was packed? Neither church was packed. Now, we live in the day of mega churches, when the church is packed from the front to the back, and you can live like a rock star. You find a motherfucker to follow you, and they like you, and the good shit you talking, your ass can live like a rock star. It's all Bentleys and Royces for you. But both of these two were these little modest churches. Now, you ain't got but 10 members. Then you decide you're going to come out and tell the members that your ass is gay. So you already know that you're at risk of losing 8 of the 10 members that you have. So you'll be down to 2 members. But see, the gays are being preyed on at this point. You know, the gays are allowed to get married and all that. So now they can get married, so there's some normalcy in our so-called lives. And, there's a whole lot of new gay people that's running around looking for a church family, looking for a church home. I don't know if you ever gave it any thought, but I did right away. Okay, well, I got these 10 members, and if 8 of them leave, and I can find 16 gay people that actually will follow me, then I won, didn't I? Boom. Come on, people. Pay attention. So, no, this ain't about Iyanla. And like she's doing something bad to them. She ain't doing nothing bad to them. This was a good business decision. This was giving themselves a platform. Putting themselves right out there on TV, on the OWN network. You know how many people got the OWN network? They're going to see them. Some people ain't going to agree with them. But there's some people that will say, oh, you know what? He's gay. And they'll feel sorry for them, or they'll feel comfortable with them, and then they'll go and they'll join their congregation. So if you got 10 members, you lose 8, but you gain 16, honey, come on, I'm not a mathematician, but I can fucking count. And I know how to count money. And gay people will give their money for anything they believe in. We will spend our money. Now, I don't believe in neither one of these motherfuckers that's actually being on there, because both of them have violated. Okay, not only were they were gay and they were in the closet, supposedly in the closet. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but they're gay and they were preaching against homosexuality. That's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. You being gay and not saying anything, that's your business. But to literally be condemning other gay people, see, we got a problem. Because you got a problem, motherfucker. Because you don't like you. So am I going to sit with you while you stand in the pulpit and you hate on me because you hate you? Fuck no. And then don't tell me a year later, oh, I done learned to accept myself. You're not going to sit around and learn to accept yourself while condemning my goddamn soul. You're not going to sit around and claim you learned how to feel better about yourself at my expense. Not going to happen. I don't trust them. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. And I think it's all a business decision. That's how I see it. But I've been watching. And the thing is, love Iyanla dearly. This is a fucking waste. It's a waste. You could have done this in one episode. One episode. Now, you got the one little guy who's just a little heavy set, tall, got nothing special about him, other than when you look at his face, you know good and motherfucking well that's a goddamn queen. You know it's a queen. On sight. When I walk into when I walk into a church, there's always a side eye already going. And it don't have nothing to do with me. I ain't got to open up my mouth. It has to do with my look, my mannerism, and how I dress. You already know, as soon as you see me, child, you know what my tea is before I say anything. And goddamn it, this little guy, you know what his tea is when you see him. I said, look at him. Child, he didn't look like he was just walking right up out of the line of tracks. He looks, child, ain't nothing about him that don't look gay. Nothing. Everything about him screamed gay. But see, again, that's that black church gang. Long as you be quiet and you don't say it and you do what we want you to do, then we're going to go ahead and roll with it. And in this case, you done messed around and he done became the damn pastor. But I don't want to hear that you all didn't know he was gay or you didn't even think he was gay. Stop that fucking shit. Stop it. Stop. You side-eyed me in the grocery store. Why is it changing the congregation? Can he sing? Can he play an instrument? Or was his family somebody prominent in that little church before he got to where he got to? Because it was one of them 3 things, I promise you. I promise you, it was one of them 3 things. And he done messed around and ended up being the whole goddamn pastor at the church. And y'all sitting around act like y'all don't know what's going on. Then the family sitting around like they were so in shock that he was coming out to them. I said, if y'all don't stop this, if y'all don't stop, I mean everything about him, honey, him and his fancy sunglasses and his purse and his Bible stuck up underneath his arm. I said, y'all, if y'all don't let Sister Lulu in here, honey, and quit. It was a mess. It was a mess. Y'all faking and playing them games like y'all play. Love to play that game. Long as you be quiet, we ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah, right. Long as we getting something from you. But as soon as you don't do something we want, we can call you faggots and shit. This it was just a bunch of bullshit. Then they didn't even want to go into his family. She didn't take the cameras in when he came out to his family. So why are we doing this on air? Why are we even bothering? That was the good shit. That's the shit we wanted to see. We wanted to see when your family show out. When your family be pissed off. And what their real reactions are. Not their rehearsed reactions after the fact. I want to see what they say right out. I want to see when your mama start crying and all that. And your mother, and your dad decide he don't want to be bothered with you no more. Some of that shit. That's what we wanted to see. That's what I tuned in for. I tuned in literally, and maybe I'm shady, but I tuned in to see what are the reactions going to be, the real reactions you get from the black family. Or was it going to be this rehearsed bullshit? Rehearsed bullshit. They didn't take the cameras in. So I was done with his story. So now you have this other one who he done went and married a woman who already had 3 kids, and they had 2 kids together. They've been together for 5 years, and he goes to sleeping with other men. And he was a definite person that stood in the pulpit and condemned gays. He preached fire and brimstone. Really? Honey, when they showed pictures of this child, pictures, if they flashed a picture, I said, what queen is it? That queen. Right on site, I knew. From a picture. Stop it, y'all. But he's not bad looking. He ain't good looking, but he's not bad looking. And he got, a nice little body and everything like that. So, the desperate girls of the church, you know how they do. You look halfway decent and you come to church. So I'll go on and pretend I'll go on with you. I'll even fuck you because, I'm already desperate. And this is what I saw with that. We found out he married the woman 6 months. They got together and they got married in 6 months. Child, he was looking for a beard. He was looking for a beard. And that bitch had low self-esteem, and she jumped at the first man that would accept her and them 3 kids. And he was the pastor. She sold her soul to the devil for a fancy hat and a good parking spot at the church, honey. I don't want to hear that you ain't had no suspicions at all. None. And who gets married after 6 months of messing with somebody? Somebody with 3 kids that feels as though don't nobody want them. A mess. So we got all of this story, and let me tell you, when I tell you that motherfucker got on my nerves with all his crying and wailing and all that, child, that crying, I couldn't take it. It was just too much. Too much. Too much. All this crying. I mean, it was ridiculous. Jump up in the bed. And y'all done jumped up in the bed. So get in the bed and pull your knees up. I said, yeah, girl, you used to that, honey. He jumped right on up in that bed. I said, get your goddamn ass off that bed. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Crying. Oh, it was just too much. He literally got on my fucking nerves. Wailing and crying and carrying on. And all you trying to do is fill your goddamn pews. I just seen right through it. I don't believe nothing that he's saying. I think this is all part of a business decision on his part. And I really just couldn't take it. It just really got on my nerves. And then the more they went into his story, the more ridiculous it was. The woman he met, ridiculous. He preyed on her, in my opinion, which was so wrong. He's wrong. He preyed on her. He went and got himself a beard. But then at the end of the day, she ain't right either. Because you allowed it to happen. And then y'all got together and y'all really was going to do it up. Y'all going to have 2 more fucking babies. 2 more. And now she's all broke up because he admitted to sleeping with 5 men while they were together. Child, that's the 5 he told you about. Ridiculous. And then the first 3 children are not his. So she was going into this whole thing of saying how her oldest child, he was the daddy figure to him, and now all of a sudden the child is, is upset. And see, I got a whole nother issue with that. The child's upset because you are allowing it and you're promoting it. That's what I saw. See, kids aren't like that. Kids ain't like that. Kids love who treats them well. Until some old grown-ass motherfucker points out that there's something different or inadequate about that adult. And then children, they listen, depending on who that person is, they'll go into a whole thing of what's wrong with that person, and then they start to change their view of that person. But they don't come up with that on their own. I'm sure it happens, but not always. Most times there's something that some adult has done or said that leads them to start looking differently at this person. And a person who, this was the daddy, this is daddy, and all of a sudden, and I'm listening to her, and I'm listening to the mammy talking this bullshit about, it's in the Bible, well, who wants a gay daddy? Excuse me. Anybody who actually got a daddy that happened to be gay. That's who the fuck want a gay daddy. But see, you done pushed that shit off on your kids. And now your son feel like something wrong with him because you're pissed off. And we can see right through it. You're pissed off. And you have every right to be pissed off. Well, part of it. Because you fucking sold your soul to the devil. And I don't care what you say. There ain't no way you can look at this man and say, boy, he sure do got a lot of feminine tendencies. But whatever. Yeah, for whatever reason, you played into it. You married the man and stayed with him for 5 years. And now you're mad. Okay, you're mad. And that's cool. But now, the one child that you know, oh yeah, they were so close, my oldest son. Now all of a sudden, he don't like him. That's your doing. That's your doing. And I can speak this because I already know this. I know this from personal experience about a motherfucker saying some shit about you and then a child changing their view of who you are. Okay? Because it happened to me with my own motherfucking son. Okay? I had my son since he was 18 months. 18 months old. Ever since you knew how to talk, I was it. Ain't no mama. I was it. You go all the way till you get to be 6 years old. And then you're around certain family members. And then all of a sudden, it comes together that I've been being discussed when I ain't around by my family members. Then all of a sudden, my child knows that he's adopted. And now he got an issue with that. Then all of a sudden, my child knows I'm gay, and he got an issue with that. What 6-year-old do you know has an issue with gay? What 6-year-old do you know even knows what the fuck gay is? When they live in a household that doesn't have a mother and doesn't have a father, all they have is a father that doesn't date, that doesn't have house full of gay folks pop dipping and spinning all over their house. They don't have nobody when they go home. It's just them and their motherfucking dad. So where in the fuck did he learn about gay? Because he's sitting somewhere for 8 hours listening to people talk about his dad at age 6. Then all of a sudden I'm faced with, well, Daddy, am I adopted? What does that mean? Just out of nowhere? Just out of nowhere? That's some fucking adult shit. Some shit being discussed over my child and being discussed in a way that my child picked up on, that whoever's discussing it, there's an issue about what that is. So I've been there. I've been there, done that. And yes, y'all hear me say stuff about my family all the time. Yeah, my family, they're different. They're different, and they do shit like that. You know, and that's why we always have an issue. And that's why I don't have an issue tearing their motherfucking ass up whenever I feel like it, because it is what it is, and I don't really care. If the members of the family hear the video and get upset, I don't give a fuck, because all I ever do is explain my truth. Those are my truths. Those are the things I live through, and I will always stand up in my truth, and I will always talk about it, and I won't ever let it go, because that's life. I had to live through that. You ran your motherfucking mouth about shit you ain't had no business running your mouth about over my fucking child. And then I was stuck to try to fix what you fucked up. And for that, I'll always speak about it. And yes, I have a platform. Somebody else is going through the same bullshit. So yeah, I'll speak about it. Willy-nilly and gladly. And get a pen and write about it too and publish it. Don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's what happened. So as soon as that bitch went to talking that shit, I knew. And I had personal feelings about it. And once I went on my girlfriend's Periscope, I was like, oh, well, I guess you do need to talk, James. So that's why we're here now. That girl is full of shit. She's full of shit. Like I said, she was desperate. She had some desperation. Because again, 3 kids. Who really is taking up with a woman that already got 3 kids? Child, that's different. That's different. And you can see from her timeline, she knew, and that bitch jumped on it. And the pastor too, yeah, she jumped right on it. And then went on and had 2 more kids. Now the bitch is separated from him because he's gay and she's pissed off. And you speaking ill over top of the children with him, you mad in the motherfucker, and it's spilling over into your kids. It's spilling over into your kids, and you're doing that. Okay? And right, wrong, or indifferent, you're doing that. Now she done jumped into a relationship. She done found some motherfucker that done took her with all 5 kids now. And Iyanla politely pointed out, honey, watch it now, because you do a lot of judgment passing on him. And, honey, you committing adultery right now. Because she was fire and brimstone and too. But she's steadily committing adultery. And Iyanla, and that's why I love Iyanla, because she be real the whole way around. Tell her, baby, you committing adultery right now. You are married. Yeah, you separated. But baby, in the eyes of God, your ass is married. And you are sleeping with and dating another man. And you still have a husband, darling. And I said, see, now she crying. I'm so sick of these crying ass motherfuckers that's doing whatever it is they want to do. It was just ridiculous. The whole thing was just ridiculous to me. It was ridiculous to me. And they need to go head on. And I don't even know if he's going to be able to repair that whole thing. It just kind of is what it is. Me and my child still, we cool, but it turned into a whole lot of problems. Trust me, it didn't go away. He's 12 now. It didn't go away. There's a whole issue. All about the fact that some motherfucker decided to talk about me and my gayness over top of my child when he was too young to even form his own opinion. And the way I was being discussed as if there was something wrong or something not correct about my gayness. And my child took it on, and it created nothing but problems. Nothing but problems. And 6 years later, yes, there are still problems and still issues that surround something that some irresponsible motherfucking adult who was supposed to be standing in the gap for me, standing in the gap for me while I work to try to make a way for my kids and pay them, okay, and pay them. And they're in your care, and some motherfuckers down there talking shit about me. And now I literally paid someone to create a whole issue of drama in my household. Well, thank you very motherfucking much. But this is what is actually going on. That woman is running her mouth and turning those children against their father. And she's going to pay. She is going to pay. She's going to pay. She's going to death. They're both going to feel the burn of it. They really are. Because she ain't interested in reconciling and that she's mad. She is mad. And again, yeah, going to be mad. But again, at the end of the day, you sold your soul to the devil, honey. You sold your soul to the devil, because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Ain't no way you're going to try to convince me that you did have some questions about this man. But whatever. But that's it. Now, I'm going to shut on up here, and I'm going to go on. I just think that it's ridiculous. I don't think Iyanla did anything that people need to be fussing at Iyanla. Iyanla's doing her fucking job. She's counseling. That's her job. And she just happens to do it on television. She works for a network. So I don't have a problem with Iyanla. I don't feel like she exploited them. I believe they are shady, made a business decision. They put themselves out there, and they believe that they are going to come up on top by getting a whole new congregation of gay people who are all out looking for church homes and church families. And I think that they were trying to think ahead, and I hope it doesn't work out, because I think they're both full of shit personally. And I probably will not watch that third part because I had enough today. And I'll be waiting on, whatever's the week after that. But I had enough of this old bullshit. This, in my opinion, is 3 parts of a bunch of faggoty bullshit. And on that, y'all can thumbs up or thumbs down the video. Y'all know how that works. I will talk with you guys later. And that's it. Later, y'all.